So today is going to be an experiment. We're going to put the wrong radio into this truck. I got this radio for 25 bucks at a bin store, but it's meant for a vehicle, like I think a tradesman, with lower options for the HVAC control. So we're going to see if we can get this head unit to work, and if it does, I'll order the correct bezel. Otherwise, I'll just sell this thing and recoup my money. So you can see the radios are pretty slim. They've got a few different connectors in here, and what makes all the magic work is the wiring harness that it comes with. So it has this simplesoft device here, and that communicates with the CAN bus to replicate the HVAC control, supposedly. We'll see how it works with this vehicle, being this is the wrong radio. Otherwise, there shouldn't be any wiring required to do, unlike the Honda, which required a lot of wiring just because it's a navigation package car. And the aftermarket industry does not support it really at all. Not very well. So we've got a bunch of different connectors so that we can continue to have the USB in here and down there. I think there might even be a couple extra USB ports when we're all said and done. So to get this thing out of here, basically you're going to use a Torx 20, and you will remove the two screws holding this thing down. There's just a piece of plastic covering the screws. Another piece of plastic in here. There's another T20 in the back. And I think I can just yank this thing out of here. So I'm going to do that off camera and try to be gentle. If anything, I should warm up the vehicle because it's like just a bit above freezing right now. So plastic might be a touch brittle. So I'm just going to hook up the wiring and see if we can make it function. And then again, I'll put it all back together and order the correct bezel if this works out. There are some other radios, like that's a 9-inch there. And it'll fit in a lot of different vehicles. I think you can get a taller center stack as well. And it's staying aftermarket. And then you can also put in like a 2018 center stack if you do a lot of work, which I'm not interested in doing. Didn't want to spend a lot of money on this, and it just kind of fell into place that I found one in a bin, which is like an Amazon junk store. All the returns just get put in bins, and day one everything's 25 bucks. Day two it's all 20 bucks, and then by day 7 it's like $1.50 per item in the bins. So that's I just came up with this. There's going to be a few in each week that I've found in the last couple of weeks going in. But this is the first time I found one that fit my vehicle. So we'll try to get this thing going here. Got the radio out. So mine's not fully optioned. It's got a few connectors that are not being used on the back of it. It is a Harman radio, original 8.4 Uconnect. One thing I've discovered is someone's been in here before. It has some kind of an adapter harness that should be plugged into the radio. And there's some box on here, which I'm going to have to do a bit of research. What I suspect is that this truck doesn't use the original backup camera. So I think they're using this somehow to interface with the backup cameras that's in the back. But what's throwing me off is that it's got audio connectors on here. And I don't know why. Like, I don't think there's an amp in this vehicle. It's got it's all aux inputs, or not, aux left and right plus the rear cam. So I have to figure out what the heck is going on here. It seems like in the final install I might just remove all of this stuff, but I'm going to leave it be for now and see how it works out. Got things connected here, so you don't get an extra USB port. You have a choice of using the USB in the center console, or you could use this USB adapter here and hang it out of the dash. Looks like I've got one extra port in here, and everything connected easily, so that's good. So I guess we will try to put in a key and see what happens. Guess we'll start it up. Some life. I gotta freaking reach down here and turn off the HVAC. So that'd be a good test whether I can get the HVAC to turn back on somehow. I guess you would retain that button, but some of it is inside the display. It's got something for my 25 bucks. Kind of works. Might be in here. No. Yeah, so it's set up as a Jeep. It's I wonder if that's the right one. They've got the Jeeps and all the Chrysler vehicles kind of lumped in together. Okay, look at that. Oops. You gotta be quick. Didn't respond. Did it? No. So I just have to work on that calibration. So once I get that figured out, we'll come back. Good news, I think it might actually be working. So I've got things kind of rigged up here. So when I go and up down with the temperature, you can see that it's changing here. I don't have dual climate control, so it's changing both. When I change the fan, I can get that. I can turn face and feet. If I press the heated mirrors and heated back window, that's turning on and off. And when I press this other button for the windscreen, it's going windscreen versus feet in front. But I feel like I'm missing the option for just the face forward. So that's something I don't recall what was in the settings. So I do lose that function. But things are working pretty good. To go into the settings, you go into here. Then you go down to car settings, factory 000000. Go into there, and then the top is CAN bus settings. And you can pick simplesoft right here. And bring up the Chrysler Jeep. I've only got like 6 options, so I turn the vehicle around so I can get better Wi-Fi with this device. So we'll see if we can do an update or not. Wi-Fi router is just on the wall in there. So I hope I don't need to stick my nose right up under it. I put the antenna up there. Alright, we're going to do an update to 2025-1103, which is just this month actually. Hopefully we don't brick this thing. I bricked the system at work and I'm still getting some response from people about that, which is unfortunate. Unfortunately I did it. So it's going to do an update, and there should be more vehicle selections, so we'll be back in a minute to see what happens. Gave up on the update for now. It was taking absolutely forever, so I will deal with that at some point. I did want to show that the radio does in fact work. It's not quite as strong of a reception, unfortunately, so I'm not getting my US channel, but I am getting like the local ones. If you hold it it seeks, and if you push forward, it just goes one station at a time. So that's good. Just trying to bring up the different options so you can bring up different programs. I don't have my Gmail account programmed into this thing yet, so I can't use that. But generally, this is pretty much perfect. It's what I was looking for, and it was a super good deal. So what I'm going to do is just zip tie this thing onto here, and then I'm going to order the correct bezel so I can mount this thing correctly. I'm also going to remove that interface box, so it's picking up that I'm in reverse on the CAN bus, and it's kind of interesting. So it's actually picking up the steering wheel angle, so I think that's pretty cool. So I'd never had that before with the camera that I had previously. It's aftermarket what I've got in the back of the vehicle, but I never had that function, so that's good. So this thing is out. I guess I'm losing one of my blend doors from what I can tell, but as long as I can keep my windshield clear in the winter and then cool off the vehicle in the summer, ultimately that's what I need. So I've got everything I need here. If you had people in the back, you might want a different split for your HVAC options, but for my wife and myself, this is going to work out fine. So I'm going to, like I said, pull out that box, see if I can get the aftermarket camera to work. I'm sure it will. It just needs a trigger signal. It did come with a additional camera. I've got like bags of these things from different vehicles, and it all worked out good. It was just like one socket for removing the old radio. There was 4 screws holding it in the T20, and everything worked out really nice. So I think this is a good option without going overboard. You can get other things there, but this is good because you can get them for like $100. So I would go this route, and then if you choose to upgrade it, you're not out a bunch of money in the future, because you may want to upgrade it in 5 years from now, because who knows what's going to come out next. So hopefully you found this useful, and thank you for watching. So I've been out in the truck for the last couple hours. Windows are fogging up, but I've got some updates, literally and figuratively. So I was able to update this head unit twice on the Android software, like not Android, it's on Android 13, but updated a couple things in there, and also updated the APK for the different vehicles. And I was able to switch over to the Dodge settings now. Not that anything changed, but let's take a look around. It can be slow at times, and I had to hotspot this to one of my phones in order to get internet to download quickly. It was just taking forever. It seems like it's got a very weak Wi-Fi system on it, but it does work. So if you go into a system, you can go into About Device, then you do wireless updates, and that'll update the software that's on here. And then you go to CAN Update, and it updates that other thing that we went into the service menu to update before. So we're all updated there. So it says Android 13 currently. And it seems to work quite well. The backup camera is not working. I think that I'm missing a wiring harness to connect this to the correct input. So what I did do, if I can remember how, I found that I've actually got my backup camera connected to the AV input, and I've got the backup camera, the red wire, hooked up to the blue wire on the back of the receiver, so the camera is always on. It's going to be powered at any time, so you can take a look at it, but I'm just on the wrong input, unfortunately. So just wanted to show you that. And then more importantly, if you go into car info, air settings, you've got full control over things in here, because it's not dual range. it changes the temperature on both sides at the same time, but it does allow you to change your blend doors here. If you had heated seats, that would work. If you had a heated steering wheel, that would work. And it's I guess that's cooled seats, not heated seats. I've got aftermarket heated seats that I've wired in here. I've got a video about that, because this truck was kind of bare bones except for the front end head unit. So it would be nice if I could get this on the main screen. I'm sure there's a way to bring up that page so I can look at it whenever I want. So we've got this, car info, no car info, car settings. I've got to figure out what this stuff is. I'm sure there's someone already done a video to set it up. It looks like you can add a lot of things here, and it's not something that I've got in my Autel scanner either. I do have Alpha OBD, and that might be what this is trying to kind of copy. But I'm not entirely sure. And so I'm not going to change anything in here, I don't think. Like I said, I could do a separate video if I find anything interesting in here. I was able to go into the Play Store, and I will tell you, this thing only has 32 gigs of memory in it, so it's really limited. I like to use here as my navigation app. Like right now, it's got iGo on it. iGo is not the best program. Like I've got it on my the van here as well, and I don't use it. It's got map information there. So I'm going to have to see if I can put an SD card in here in order to add some space to this. Otherwise, we're going to be in a bit of a pickle as far as having space. Equalizer sounds terrible right now. Probably because of this. I don't know how I can get this thing to go flat quickly. Oh man. That's pretty flat. Let's see if it sounds better now. It's got RDS, so it's got the radio display, which is pretty neat. You can see that I've just got the sucker zip tied in here, so I'm going to roll like that until I get my new bezel shipped in from China. This mic, I think this mic will be on the same time the internal mic is on, so you're probably better off not plugging that in unless you want to go in and snip the wires off that microphone, which is something that people do. So I got to find a wiring harness for my backup camera so it's going into the correct input, and I got to get the bezel, and I think I'll be all set. So again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this useful.